Friday night during the Oakland Athletics and Chicago White Sox game, two women were wounded by gunfire inside the stadium. But what makes this so crazy is that one of the gunshot victims they found out snuck a gun into the game by hiding it like under like the folds in her stomach. So
Yeah.
so the two women were actually wounded by gunfire during the game. And the whole situation had police and authorities like completely confused. They're trying to figure out where this bullet came from, how these people got hit. The one girl got grazed and everything. And when they got people to come in there and do like the trajectory and everything, they found out that an accidental discharge was the only thing that made sense. So they figured like one of these two had to have a gun. So they kind of like, start, like hammer it down on these two, like, yo, what really happened? Like, there wasn't just like a miraculous bullet in the stadium and you got hit because they check everybody when you come in.
Wow. Yeah.
So the unnamed woman eventually was found to have snuck the gun past metal detectors by hiding it in the folds under her belly. So a fun fact is if you need to sneak past metal detectors going into an MLB game or something, if you can get that gun somewhere inside your body, you will get it into a stadium. And it's pretty crazy because as I was sitting here reading this earlier today, I'm kind of like, I'm not skinny, you know what I mean? Like I'm a bigger dude. So like I'm checking under my stomach and stuff and going like, God, dude, she's had to have like a pretty big fold because I don't think there's anywhere that I could fit a gun and get it past a metal detector trying to like sneak it in, you know?
Absolutely.
Well, except for the old jail wallet. I guess
Right.
yeah. Sneak it in that way.
Nature's pocket.
Wallet.
Nature's pocket. Now, hold on.
Yeah.
This is my issue. So that's a metal detector definitely detects things through fat folds, right? Because you can have like a metal plate in your head or something, and the metal detector will go off. So
yeah, good point.
somebody was extremely incompetent. If you ever been to like for us, and when you say like MLB, I've been to Phillies games before, and if you walk up not like swerving, the guy like basically puts two hands on my chest, two hands on my back, and he's like, "You're good, cuz no metal detector." He gave me the worst pat down on earth. So I'm assuming that it was one of these, $7 an hour security guys that gave that person the most non-pat down of pat downs and let it walk through.
And you know what, Steve? You might be right. Because now that I think about it, there's been times where I walk in and you're right. They have the wand. Even when we went to Hershey Park and everything, it's more for show. It's like security theater.
100%.
You know what I mean? They like wave the thing around you, but they didn't check like my ankles or like around me or anything. They definitely didn't check my kid. You know what I mean?
Nah.
You could probably sneak anything in with a kid.
Dude,
Not that I ever
crazy.
would. Yeah.
What kind of gun was it? Because if it was like a 47 fit or 45 Magnum or whatever.
What if it was a rifle? This broad's so big she got a rifle.
I would love to see how big the gun was.
It does not say. The stories I read.
Like I could see
It just says that a handgun was, you know what I mean, made it into the stadium.
I could see like a 38 snub nose fitting, if you're pretty big, but
depends. Maybe we get a Ma Deuce in there. I don't know.
Dude, if you got a Glock or something, like those are
big.
Like, yeah, man, that's like shoving your hand open on like, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's still I think would be tough, but I think it's actually what Steve's saying. They just didn't really check that well, and that kind of thing.
Somebody was patting down his 497th drunk person and was just like, you know what? I get paid $10 an hour. You look fine. Go in, sweetie. I don't care. Go in.
Yeah.
I would have loved to hear the interrogation. You know what I mean? When they're like, so we're sitting there minding our own business, and then a bullet just whizzed by.
Unbelievable.
Both of us.
What game was this at again?
Oh, by the way, we were just talking about Chicago. It was a Chicago White Sox game.
We back to Chirac.
Yeah, go figure, right?
Is it? And it was a White Sox too, right?
Yeah, Chicago White Sox.
Shout out, and for us Philadelphia fellers, shout out Chirac. The only place, even though they have like 3 times the amount of people we do, the only place that always has a higher murder count than us. If it wasn't for Chirac, Philly would be the #1 murder capital of America.
Wasn't Detroit bad for a while?
But that's per capita, which I understand. Like it's about for like big cities, Detroit's tiny compared to Philly and Chicago.
Okay.
But like Chicago holds down the big cities.
Yeah.
Dude, that's wild. Absolutely wild. But I mean, hey, that's Chicago. What are you gonna do? Right? Hey,
that is Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Chicago.
Where we act like we have oceanfront property, but really it's a big lake.
It is a very big lake, though. I will say that.
What's the population over there?
For Chicago, it's like 5 million.
5
We're at in
million.
Philadelphia. Yeah, in Chicago. Actually, it's like 3 and almost 4. Philadelphia, we're a little under 2 million. We're like 1.5 million in Philadelphia. But then if you add the suburbs, it's like 15 to 18 million.
Yeah, right now it says Chicago's at 2.6 million. Yeah, you're right. 3 million.
And Philly's what, 1.2, 1.3?
Philly is
because we're now 5th behind Houston, but Houston doesn't count. I've been there. It's so spread out. It's so enormous.
Yeah, you're right. Philadelphia is 1.57.
1.57. Yeah.
That's just in the city.
That's just in the city. And then in Philadelphia where we're at, there's 5 counties or 4 counties that surround it. And there is, when they call that basically the Delaware Valley, there's, I don't know, 18 million. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good stuff, guys.